Girl, I'm from South Central Los Angeles, born and raised. I am from the for real hood, y'all. But I'm grateful for that. I'm a person who firmly believes that nothing happens in our lives by circumstance or just by happenstance, but I think that every step in my life was ordered.
Yes.
I celebrate the worst the same way that I celebrate the best, because how would I be this person that I am standing before you today had I just believed that my fate was destined to still be on the streets of South Central Los Angeles. So I'm grateful every time, no matter how many people I'm standing before speaking to, I am always grateful at the opportunity to share with you today. So listen, I'm not going to be before you long. Again, my name is Lakeisha. I am from South Central Los Angeles. I moved to the Bay Area when I was about 16 years old. Thank goodness that I moved to the Bay Area when I was about 16 years old. Had the opportunity to go to college. That was the only choice that I felt like I had to get out of South Central Los Angeles. But what I am the most happy about and grateful is that I was able to do some things with my life that have brought me to stand before so many people, to attend events and to speak at so many different community colleges promoting the idea that a degree is not enough.
That's right.
And that's really what's been my motto. I believe that degrees are something that give us opportunity, but it doesn't guarantee us anything. And so that's kind of been what I've been traveling around the United States teaching community college students and high school students, is that a degree is not enough. And without some sustainable employability key skills, you will probably be average, or you will probably be underpaid, or you will probably be disconnected from your purpose and your dreams. So that's really what I'm all about in a nutshell. My computer just shut off. I had a speech prepared for you, and I had memorized it. I often memorize when I'm going out to speak somewhere. I haven't done a keynote speech, by the way, in about a year. I've been traveling and doing a lot of trainings, but I had something for you. And I woke up this morning, and I very rarely do this, but I fell asleep with my TV on this morning. And the news was on when I woke up. And as I'm listening to the news, and as I'm listening to some of the current events, and I'm seeing my hometown is on fire. And we're just around the corner from an inauguration. And regardless of where we stand on that, what I was reminded of and what I thought about was that we, whether we want it or not, are about to experience some significant change. Whether we want it or not, it's coming. And so I sat down and I wrote something different. And normally I don't read, but I'm going to do that today, if you don't mind. And I've titled this Unwise, Untimely, and Unstoppable, The Call to Make a Change. My laptop is telling me that my battery's about to die. Don't worry about it, I'm good at freestyling. So I think that we can all agree that with the recent turn of events, we are most definitely living in a time reminiscent of eras we thought we had evolved from. Times when division, inequality, and injustice seem insurmountable. Yet here we are, facing challenges that test our resolve, our humanity, and our collective will to create a better world. So before we can truly delve into the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the power of his wise words, we must first pause and reflect on what it really means to be labeled as untimely and unwise. See, these terms are not just simply critiques, they are often used as tools to discourage action, to delay progress, and to dismiss bold ideas that challenge the status quo. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
See, to be called untimely suggests that our efforts are misplaced, that the moment isn't right, or that we should wait for some elusive better time to act. But who decides when the time is right? Is it the oppressed? Are they the ones who feel the urgency of change every day? Or is it those who benefit most from delaying it? And ask ourselves these questions. See, to be deemed unwise implies recklessness, a lack of careful thought, or an inability to see the bigger picture. But history shows us that what seems unwise in the moment is often revealed as courageous foresight in hindsight. We can maybe liken it to what some called unwise before the civil rights movement began, and now the world recognizes it as a necessary movement in order to have justice prevail. See, it's easy in these days that we find ourselves living and with the inauguration looming and the cities on fire and the constant injustice that continue to plague our country, our communities. See, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, to wonder if our efforts to create change will ever matter. It's even easier to hesitate when our actions are labeled as unwise or untimely. But I believe that history teaches us. I believe that history teaches us that the most significant transformations have always been born from individuals and communities who refuse to wait for the right time to act. There's never a right time. We'll never have enough money. We'll never have enough support. The time is always now. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy is a shining example of this truth. His leadership was never about following society's clock, but about listening to the moral urgency of the moment. He didn't wait for permission to demand justice. My laptop went out. You got it? I do. He didn't wait for the perfect time for us to demand justice. He did it with a sense of urgency. I encourage you today to think of what is happening around you. What is going on in your community? What changes do you see that require immediate attention? And oftentimes what we do is that we just qualify ourselves. We say, I'm not a great speaker. Or I don't really have the money. Or, I don't really have the time because, I got to go do this and I got to go do that. We become comfortable and complacent with letting someone else do it. Can we agree? I think about a time where I was at Modesto Junior College. That's where I work. I've been there for 12 years, and I was working, and I moved to the Career Services Center. And I remember students were coming in left and right. They were looking for work. And I would ask simple questions. Tell me why you think you're qualified to apply for this position. And they came in all ages. I would get them very young. I would get some that were very seasoned like myself. But many of them could not articulate to me why they would be a great candidate. And I remember thinking, you're going to get this piece of paper in your hand, but you're not going to be able to articulate your value, your worth, what you are capable of achieving, what you have to bring to the table. And I thought to myself, this will be my cause. Because if I don't know how to do anything else, I know how to get a job. I know how to start a business. And that's what I began to do. And once word got around that that's what I was doing, I'm going somewhere with this. I want you to understand, I'm not just bragging about myself. I'm going somewhere with this. But once word began to catch fire around the city of Modesto, I found myself speaking at all different events. And then I remember I was traveling outside of California to go and do this. And then in 2019, we hit a pandemic. And my business wasn't even quite a business yet. And I remember laying in bed saying, Lord, what am I going to do? This is my contribution to my community. This is how I want to make a change. And I don't want to wait. I said, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start a professional development business. I'm going to learn this new thing called Zoom. I'm going to start doing it online. Listen, it wasn't the right time.
Right.
I didn't know if I was going to have a job. It was unwise. I'm going to be investing money into something that is not a guarantee in order to carry on with my purpose and to make a difference in my community, to bless other people's lives and to get them to where they need to be. It was bad timing. How many of us are sitting on something? How many of us are sitting on something that can change the lives of those around you, that can contribute to your community, that can possibly change the world? But it's bad timing. And I remember I had so many friends saying to me, what do you mean you're going to start a professional development business? That's crazy. What are you talking about, Lakeisha? Everybody's doing that. It's not wise. I remember laying in bed thinking to myself, yeah, that's true. But not everybody is doing it like me.
That's right.
I want to encourage you today, to even challenge you, if I may, as I close. I want you to think about what's happening around you. I want you to consider what you can do to make a difference. See, I challenged myself, and because of that challenge, it's taken me to do trainings in Fortune 500 companies. It's taken me all over the United States of America, and so many community colleges, just teaching what I believe. Employability skills can change your life. How simple is that? How practical is it? It doesn't take much. You don't need much of a platform. This is just my personality. I'm always talking. I'm big like this all the time. But if you're not, it only takes a drop to make a wave. I want to challenge you today to consider how many times you've been told that something is untimely, or that it's not wise. And because of that, what you're supposed to be doing is still sitting on the wayside. I challenge you today to get into the game of life.
All right.
I challenge you today to find the franchise player in yourself and get into the game of life. And to do that thing that may not seem like it's a right now thing. I challenge you to do that. His legacy is not meant to live in the past. His legacy is not just something that we come and sit down and talk about and have good food over. It's about understanding how important it is to carry it on. I intend to do that, and I hope that you join me as well. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much.